a splatter of blood sat on the front steps of a certain neighbor. A man in a black coat and hat tended to the scene of the crime, while examining the dried blood. His grey eyes took in what looked like some small pieces of red dust that sat next to the blood stains. Picking some of it up with his gloved hand, he placed it into an evidence bag and handed it off to the other authorities. "What do you think, Doc?" a voice asks curiously, watching the man stand from his kneeling position. "Well, Dylan, as you can see, from the shattering glass of the window, it's obvious that the victim was pushed out and fell upon the pavement. There seems to be some red substance left behind, besides the blood. We'll have that looked into once we take it back to the lab, Doc." Turning towards the body that was covered by a blank white sheet, the man walked on over and peeked at the damage that was done. 2 holes were punctured against the victim's neck, which made the man hum in thought. "Yay, right, vampires aren't real. Must have been some dirty prank." "Come on, Elsie. You promised that we'd clean the attic out today. It's Dad's garage sale today, and he wants most of this stuff to go. We need more space." "I know, Trish, but this is so tedious. Couldn't he get someone else to do it?" "What, like Mum? Haha, have fun with that. She's too busy right now to worry about what Dad is up to." 2 sisters taking the stairs to the attic to clear out the cobwebs and the many boxes in it, both had a bit of an excuse not to want to deal with their dad's garage sale. For one, the things he had in the attic were from all over the globe, and 2, some were indescribably ugly or merely pretty. Once the door was opened, and the 2 climbed up, Trish ran over to open the windows to let in some air, while Elsie took her time sorting out the boxes. There weren't just boxes littering the place, there were also some other objects too. Some sat in crates, vases, caskets, or even suitcases. It was strange to be placing some stuff in those types of compartments. "Trish, give me a hand here?" Elsie asks, pushing a shelf full of old books to the side, with Trish's help. The 2 find a very tall and strange-looking doll standing behind it. At first, they thought it was a real person, but found out the skin was made of porcelain glass. She wore a Victorian-styled gown, full of pink and red lace, pearls along the bodice and hems, with brown shoes with laces, and a hat with floral design. Her eyes were a gentle green, and her skin was a pale white, while her hair sat in dark red waves against her shoulders. "When did Dad get this?" Trisha asks, looking the doll over, feeling a bit creeped out. "I don't know, but let's go get Tom so he can bring her downstairs. I'm sure Dad is probably dying to get rid of it." Some moments later, most of the boxes were taken outside, and a crowd had gathered to pick out the many odd and beautiful things the family had to offer. The doll also stood outside, which had some onlookers studying prices on how much they wanted to buy it. It wasn't until a limo pulled up, letting out a male in a suit to come and check this small sale out. His eyes quickly met the doll's, which made him smirk. "I'll take that doll of yours. She looks pretty lonesome." Richard looked up to see who was speaking, and gasped at the check that was handed to him. "What? You want Yurima? But, she's so ancient, and such an antique. Even with the amount you're willing to give me, I can't give her up. She's not yours to take." "All right, where's the boy?" a firm voice asks, which came from a tall woman who walked into the room wearing her long dark green and black gown. She wore spectacles on her nose, and had dark black eyes. The boy she was referring to was a delinquent student who always caused so much trouble in the classrooms, and wouldn't give the students nor the teacher a break. His dark brown hair sat like a mop on his head, while his bangs hid his bright magenta eyes. He wore the school's uniform of navy blue and white, along with black shoes on his feet. Justine had heard about this boy for time now, and it was at these great measures the school had called upon her to take care of him. Walking up to the chair of which the boy sat in, she knelt down to his level, and stared into his eyes, after removing his bang away from the other. "Julius, is it?" she asks. The boy nodded. She nearly forgot that the boy was a mute, and wondered why he got himself into so much trouble. Humming as she examined him, she took out a comb and straightened out his hair, before standing him up and straightening out his clothes. The boy wondered what the woman was doing, as he's never seen her before, and couldn't tell what was going on. Once she was done, she gave him a small smile. "Do exactly as I say," she speaks softly, mostly above a whisper, so that only the boy could hear her. Their eyes made contact, and as she said this, his body relaxed. "You will be a good boy from now on and forever. You won't think of doing any terrible things to anyone. Once I snap my fingers 3 times, your problems will cease, and you will find inner peace and happiness. 1. Snap. 2. Snap. 3. Snap. He's now mine."
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed these stories, please leave a comment below, letting me know what your thoughts are. I will be putting out more stories like these in the near future. I also would like to let you all know that these stories are written by myself, Miss Raven, and will not tolerate plagiarism of my works. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel for more stories like these. Stay healthy.